breaking Elon Musk just demolished Keir Starmer. In a public showdown that has Westminster scrambling for cover, Britain's Prime Minister humiliated on the world stage. At 10:47 this morning, over 2 million people watched it unfold live. And what happened next could permanently cripple Labour's grip on power. The confrontation ignited after months of tension between tech giants and the UK government just 3 days ago. Starmer announced sweeping new digital regulations that would force social media platforms to pay a sovereignty tax on British user data. His words were unmistakable. The era of tech billionaires exploiting British citizens ends today, but Musk wasn't having it. Instead of quietly accepting the new rules, he launched a blistering counterattack that left Downing Street reeling. During an emergency board meeting at Twitter headquarters in San Francisco, Musk revealed classified UK government documents showing Labour's secret plan to monitor and censor political speech. Ahead of next year's election, they don't want regulation. Musk declared they want complete control of what British citizens are allowed to read, watch, and say online. His exact words sent shockwaves through global markets. The UK government isn't protecting citizens. They're treating them like children who can't be trusted with information. Within hours, the pound plummeted against the dollar, dropping 4.3%, in the largest single-day decline since Brexit. Technology stocks tanked as investors feared a global regulatory war between Silicon Valley and European governments. The Treasury was forced to issue an emergency statement at 2:15 p.m., but markets had already delivered their verdict. Former Bank of England advisor Timothy Harrington called it the most damaging 24 hours for UK financial credibility in a decade. But wait, because the situation deteriorated even further. When major British pension funds lost $3.2 billion in value as markets reacted. These aren't abstract numbers on a screen. This is real money that belongs to real Britons, planning their retirements, and it vanished in a single day because Starmer picked a fight he couldn't win. Meanwhile, British pensioners, who worked their entire lives building this country, are suffering under crippling energy bills. An NHS waiting list. Margaret Thornberry, a 73-year-old retired nurse from Sunderland, waited 14 hours on a hospital trolley last Tuesday. With a broken hip, I paid into the system for 51 years, she told reporters through tears. And now when I need help, there's nothing. Her heating bill has tripled since last winter. While ordinary Britons struggle, Labour ministers enjoy taxpayer-funded luxury. We're talking $12,000 spent on wine for Downing Street receptions last month alone. Private cars, first-class flights, and expense accounts that would make a banker blush. The contrast is so stark, so unconscionable, that even traditional Labour voters are abandoning the party in droves. In former strongholds like Hartlepool and Darlington, Labour's support has collapsed by double digits. Here's where it gets truly shocking. Government expense reports, obtained through Freedom of Information requests, show 3 cabinet ministers claimed over $47,000 in entertainment expenses. In the last quarter alone, that's enough to pay the average pensioner's heating bill for 23 years. All while Starmer lectures the public about necessary sacrifices and shared burden. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. But then something unprecedented happened that nobody saw coming. King Charles broke royal protocol in spectacular fashion during yesterday's Privy Council meeting at Buckingham Palace with government ministers present. His Majesty delivered what insiders describe as a barely concealed rebuke of the current administration's handling of free speech issues. Britain's greatest strength has always been its commitment to open debate and the free exchange of ideas. The king declared with unmistakable gravity, any attempt to restrict that freedom, regardless of intention, risks undermining the very foundation of our democracy. Palace insiders revealed Charles had seen the Musk documents before they went public and was deeply troubled by their implications. The king reportedly spent 3 hours with constitutional experts last night discussing the monarchy's role in protecting free speech. Royal historian Lady Amelia Blackwood confirmed this represents the most significant royal intervention in political affairs since the abdication crisis. The optics are catastrophic for Starmer, who now appears at odds with both the monarchy and public opinion. But there's more to this story that hasn't been reported. Elsewhere, a senior palace aide speaking on condition of anonymity revealed the king had expressed concerns about the digital regulation bill. Weeks ago, his private secretary sent a diplomatic but firm letter to Downing Street outlining constitutional concerns. That letter was allegedly ignored, leaving the king with no choice but to speak publicly. This represents an extraordinary breakdown in the relationship between the crown and government. unprecedented in modern British politics. The fallout was immediate and far-reaching. The FTSE 100 dropped 3.2% by closing bell. 5 major tech companies announced they were reconsidering planned UK investments, worth 8.7 billion JP. Morgan downgraded Britain's investment outlook to cautious for the first time since the pandemic. Inside Parliament, Labour MPs began distancing themselves from Starmer's tech policies. Shadow cabinet WhatsApp groups leaked to the Telegraph show at least 17 MPs expressing serious reservations about confronting Musk directly, and here's the development that has Labour strategists panicking. 3 major trade unions that traditionally back Labour issued a joint statement expressing profound concern about potential job losses. If tech companies pull investment, the statement stops short of withdrawing support, but threatens to review financial contributions to the party without union money. Labour's campaign war chest could shrink by millions. Overnight, Twitter #MuskVS. Starmer trended globally for 19 straight hours, with over 7.8 million posts. A Snap YouGov poll showed 64% of Britons sided with Musk on the free speech issue, including 51% of self-identified Labour voters. Protests erupted in Manchester, Birmingham, and Glasgow, with thousands chanting, "Hands off our internet conservative leader." Rishi Sunak wasted no time, declaring at an emergency press conference this government would rather silence critics than solve Britain's real problems. But the most telling reaction came from ordinary citizens. In interviews conducted across the country, the sentiment was overwhelmingly clear. "I voted Labour to fix the NHS, not to have the government telling me what I can read online," said Thomas Wilkinson, 58, a factory supervisor from Leeds. His view was echoed by thousands in online forums and calling radio shows. This isn't just a Westminster bubble story. It struck a nerve with everyday British voters who value their freedoms inside Number 10. Absolute chaos has erupted. Ministers are shouting at each other. Behind closed doors, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper allegedly threatened to resign unless the digital regulation bill is significantly watered down. Chancellor Rachel Rees was overheard saying Starmer had completely miscalculated Musk's influence and resolve. WhatsApp groups, with names like damage control and crisis management, are plotting strategy around the clock. The question isn't if they'll retreat from this fight. It's when. Starmer looked physically ill during yesterday's PMQ. Sources say his hands were visibly shaking as he shuffled through his notes. Senior advisors described the atmosphere as complete panic, with staffers working through the night to draft multiple response strategies. And this is where the story takes its darkest turn. Behind closed doors, Labour strategists are reportedly discussing ways to pressure media outlets. To downplay the story, one senior advisor suggested threatening regulatory action against newspapers that give too much coverage to Musk's accusations. When another staff member objected on ethical grounds, they were immediately removed from the crisis team. This isn't just bad policy anymore. It's becoming a genuine threat to press freedom. But here's the bombshell that could bring down the entire government. Leaked documents show Labour conducted secret polling on internet censorship measures 3 months before Musk's takeover of Twitter. The internal report, marked strictly confidential, revealed 76% of Britons would oppose any government restrictions on social media. But Starmer pushed ahead anyway, convinced he could overcome public resistance. If these documents are authentic, and if they show what sources claim, then Starmer knowingly defied both public opinion and his own party's research. Think about what that means. The Prime Minister deliberately ignored warnings from his own advisors about the political suicide of attacking internet freedom. The optics of that would be absolutely devastating. What makes this revelation even more explosive is that 3 former cabinet ministers have privately confirmed its authenticity. To journalists at the Sunday Times, an exposé scheduled for this weekend will reportedly include sworn testimonies from civil servants who witnessed Starmer dismiss the polling data as temporary public confusion. One advisor claims the Prime Minister said, "They'll thank us later when they understand what we're protecting them from." That patronizing attitude has now come back to haunt him. Meanwhile, Nigel Farage is expertly capitalizing on Labour's meltdown, while Starmer struggles to contain the damage. Farage is positioning himself as the champion of free expression when governments fear citizens speaking freely. "Citizens should fear their government," he declared to thunderous applause at a Birmingham rally. "This morning, Mr. Starmer thinks you're too stupid to decide what information you can handle." The polls tell the story Reform UK has surged to 22%. just 6 points behind Labour's rapidly shrinking 28%. For the first time since Brexit, Farage isn't just a protest vote. He's a genuine contender for serious political power. And he's found the perfect ally in Musk, who retweeted Farage's speech to his 157 million followers, with the comment Britain deserves better leadership. And now Farage is promising something that has Westminster terrified: a tech-powered political revolution at campaign stops across Britain's industrial heartland. He's pledging to harness artificial intelligence and blockchain technology to create a direct democracy platform where voters can instantaneously register their views on major policies. Why wait 5 years to have your say? Farage asked crowds your voice should matter. Every single day the response has been electric, particularly among younger voters who previously dismissed Reform UK as a party for pensioners. The next 72 hours are critical. Parliament reconvenes tomorrow, with Labour facing a potential no-confidence vote. Technology stocks continue to bleed value. Foreign investors are pausing UK projects worth billions. The question is no longer whether Starmer will modify his tech regulations. It's whether his government will survive the week. Britain is watching a political implosion in real time. This crisis will be studied for decades, as the moment when traditional political power collided with the new reality of global tech influence. At its epicenter stands Keir Starmer, who looks increasingly isolated and out of touch with modern political realities. So here's the question that matters. Did Starmer just destroy his own career with this crusade against free speech? Or did he accidentally unite Britain against government overreach? What do you think? Will the king make another unprecedented move to protect British freedoms? Is Musk a hero defending free speech, or a billionaire protecting his business interests? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one, and if this story shocked you as much as it shocked us, share it with everyone who needs to see what's really happening in Westminster right now. The mainstream media won't tell you the full truth, but we will tomorrow. We'll reveal the American politicians secretly supporting Musk in this fight against government censorship.